About 3 weeks ago, I went to the grocery store and I found this guitar. It was sitting up against the wall outside the grocery store, and the headstock was broken off where the tuning pegs are, and the headstock was laying on the ground. And so I just I saw it and I thought, you know, I could probably fix that. So I went ahead and grabbed it and brought it back to the boat and started working on it. So this is my third video now working on this, and I'm pretty much almost done. All I got to do is put in this saddle, bridge saddle. This is what the strings go over in the back here. The saddle was missing when I found this guitar. I had some other ones because I worked on this this girl's guitar that I used to work with. So I had some other saddles, but they were too small. They weren't tall enough. The strings were too close to the frets and they were rattling. So you can see that in my previous video. So I went ahead and went to the music store and got a couple saddles. And so they're thicker. Those saddles that I had before were too thin. The slot that they fit in was, and they need to fit in tight. So you don't want any slop. So there was some slop. I made a little shim to shim it up, the other saddle that I put in here, but it was way too low. I just couldn't get the strings high enough. So this is plenty high. I'm probably going to have to cut it down and make it lower to lower the strings. So I'm going to have to work with that. And it'll be kind of probably a little at a time process. So right now, this saddle is a little bit too long, so I'm going to have to shorten it down. And so I'm going to use my Dremel tool and cut the end off. I have to make a decision which end to cut. So this is arched, which is I don't know if that's going to be a problem. Some necks are real flat and some are slightly arched, and this saddle is arched. So I may have to take some of the arch out of it. I'm not sure yet. So one thing I do know, I'm going to have to shorten it. It's too long, so I'm going to have to cut one of these ends off. So I'm going to cut the end off that's going to go where the thicker strings are, because they tend to need to be higher anyway. The action's usually a little higher on the low end strings and closer on the high end strings. So I got to determine how much I'm going to cut off. I got two of these in case I screw up. So hopefully I'll get it on the first try with the first one and not have to use the second one. But when you're doing something like this, it's good to have backup, because it's easy to mess up. So you might make it a little too low and you can't add more on. I mean, there is a trick. You can put little shims down in there and put this on top. That's really not the best thing to do, even though that's how Ovation guitars adjust the height of their saddles, because the saddle on an Ovation guitar that's an acoustic electric is actually the pickup, the electrical pickup for the electric part of the guitar. So they have shims that go underneath to adjust it. But this guitar is just an acoustic guitar. So I still have the strings on here. I got them loose because I pulled the other saddle out and took it to the store to kind of get an idea of what size I needed. So I got the right thickness, it looks like, and I just need to cut the end off. So I'm going to have to kind of guesstimate here. I don't want to cut too much off. I want it to fit in tight. So this is a really cheap Chinese guitar, but when I had the saddle in and had it tuned up somewhat, it sounds really good, surprisingly good. Cheap guitars can sound really good. So, and there's expensive guitars that don't sound too good. So I played an Ovation guitar once. I was thinking about buying it. It was just an acoustic guitar. It was not acoustic electric. So it was, for a brand new guitar, it was inexpensive. It was like $300. And it was a cedar top, because most guitars are spruce. The wood on the soundboard is spruce. And So cedar top guitars tend to be really bright, and I went and played this guitar at the music store, and it was a cedar top Ovation, just acoustic guitar, and I did not like the sound of it at all. I mean, it just, it wasn't bright. That was what the strange thing was. It was just, Ovations kind of have a thuddy sound to them, which actually I like. It kind of makes the notes pop out, get this thud that goes along with the sound. I know it sounds strange, and I like to do this real fast flat pick strumming stuff, so kind of an intricate strumming patterns. Again, it just makes the sound kind of pop out. Okay, so I'm going to cut this off with the Dremel tool, and if I have to lower this down, which I'm sure I will, I'm going to have to grind this flat and grind it down to lower the saddle down if the strings are too high. We'll see what I can do with the Dremel tool. Probably won't be perfect. I'll have to maybe just get some sandpaper out and sand it down. Maybe cut it with the Dremel tool and then sand it flat. So right now I'm just going to cut the end off here and see if I can get it to fit in. So at any rate, this guitar's got little pink hearts all over it. They're like little crystals. And so evidently this was a little girl's guitar. And like I was saying in my previous videos, I kind of feel bad for her, her guitar getting broken. Looks to me like she's probably a Swiftie. All these little pink hearts on here. If I knew who it belonged to, I'd just fix it and give it back to her, but I don't know who it belongs to. And maybe her mom or dad bought her a new guitar. So maybe it turned out for the good. So what I'll probably do is I'll just keep it on the boat and just use it for a guitar. I'm not too worried about banging around since it's a cheap guitar. I kind of would like to hang it up somewhere where I can just grab it whenever I want to play it and practice. But I don't really have any good place to hang a guitar up, like on the wall. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this off. Always wear eye protection when you use power tools. Okay, let's see if I can get this to fit in there. Okay, good. Now, well, that's really high up. That's going to be probably way too high. But it fit in the slot good, so that's good. Good sign. I'll tighten these down a little bit. Let's see what we got. I'm sure this is going to be way too high. Okay, kind of there. Wow, that's some pretty high action. Some guitar players like really high action. Some of the old great guitar players, like Django Reinhardt, people like that. So I don't know if you can see how high the strings are off of the fretboard. But let's see. I go ahead and test and see if I get any fret rattles. I shouldn't, not with this high action. And so I may have to, I'm going to probably have to cut it down some. And we'll check some rattles and check the intonation going up the fretboard. Kind of a difficult place to try to play a guitar. So, actually sounds pretty good. Okay, let's check. It's going to go up it's going to go up every fret. Okay. Yeah, just like I thought, absolutely no rattles because the action is so high. I need to bring the action down about, maybe about half of what it is. So this is really high action. Okay, now I'm going to check the octave. So on the 12th fret. So the 12th fret, when you press down on the 12th fret, you're basically cutting the string perfectly in half in length. So it'll be an octave higher than the open string. So that's open. So we'll hear, I'm going to use my ear to hear how close it is. And that'll tell me the intonation of the fretboard here, and how close it is, or how far off it is. So let's hear. That sounds good. Sounds like an octave. Not bad. Sounds good. Sounds a little flat. That's what I was getting before with the lower action. Slightly. It's not bad. That sounds good. This one though sounds a little flat to me. Should be like, so if I bend it, you can hear it where it should be. And that's flat. And I'll bend it with my finger. It should be there. It's a little flat. That's good. They all sound pretty good except for the D string. The D's a little flat, just a little. Yeah, the A sounds a little flat too. The four strings in the middle are slightly flat, just slightly. The D's the worst one. But no rattle. I don't know if I can like playing it at the action this high. I'm gonna have to probably lower it down some. Like I said, some guitar players like real low action. Some people like medium action height, and some like action real high. Of course, the higher action, the less chance you're gonna rattle any frets. The string's gonna rattle up against any frets. And so if you're into playing really hard and loud, probably a little better have the action a little higher. But it's not a bad sounding guitar. Whew. Let's see, this sounds like. It's kind of hard to play where I'm standing. I'm standing on my ladder, and I got I got one knee up real high. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut these eye pokers out before I poke my eyeball out. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. This is a song that my friend Phil and I wrote way back in probably 1978. It doesn't start like that. It starts like this. Yeah, the action's way too high. I'm gonna need to lower it down. So that's kind of a good test because I was playing chords up and down the neck somewhat. Yeah, I gotta lower this section down, it's too high. This is a little bit difficult, make it a little easier. So I'm gonna loosen the strings down. I'm gonna lower this saddle down. So I'm gonna have to cut the bottom part off. And I don't know what I'm gonna do about leveling it. I have to try to figure out how much lower. So it's a little hard to play. I'm not used to action this high. I do like my action to be slightly high, but kind of medium, but I'm not real crazy about real low action. So on an electric guitar, it's usually the action's a lot lower than it is on acoustic, but yeah. So I'm gonna have to loosen these strings up, take this out, figure out how much I'm gonna cut off. So yeah, it's gonna be kind of risky, but nothing else I can do. Yeah, it's just way too high. It's crazy high. If you found this video to be helpful or entertaining, please like and subscribe.